guest is an all-American college student. During a calculus class, he noticed that something with his vision wasn't adding up. Here to tell us the equation that got his vision back to 2020, please welcome Frank Pounds and the doctor who subtracted bad vision from his life, optometrist Dr. Julio Arroyo. Frank, for you, the idea that your vision was changing started in the classroom by trying to see the chalkboard, which is the same story for a lot of kids.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was having trouble seeing the board, and he was going up, writing all this integral and derivative stuff, and I was sitting there squinting my eyes, and he's going, "Frank, did I screw something up, or are you having trouble seeing?" I was like, "No, I can't see very well."
Yeah, and a lot of kids will just simply move closer to the chalkboard. That's what I did in 3rd grade. I thought, well, I'll just move closer to the chalkboard,
right,
not realizing that my eyes had an issue.
Well, I was bad, and I hadn't seen an optometrist for a long time, and so I thought my eyes were fine. But then when I figured I should go get them checked, I went and saw Dr. Arroyo, and he fixed up everything. Introduced me to the corneal molding, and it really made a huge difference in my life.
And we'll talk about specifics on that in a second. But first, he said something very important there. Hadn't seen the eye doctor in quite a while. A lot of us kind of put that one off because it's not such an emergency until we really can't see.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think in Kids Good Morning, Deborah, you see, we have a great crowd here of young individuals, pretty young and beauties. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. But you see, when you're young, I'm beautiful, but when you're young and you are nearsighted, you're going to get worse every time. We can get worse. And so these parents take their young kids to the eye doctor, and so they have a prescription. And if they don't take them again for 2 years, 3 years, well, the prescription is going to go up. What we did with Frank,
eyes are changing.
Yeah,
even if you're wearing glasses or contacts, your eyes are still changing.
That is exactly right. So Frank, whether or not he was wearing glasses, right now you're wearing the molds how often?
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
Let's explain what these corneal molds are. Yeah. Okay, so it's contacts at nighttime while you sleep. This is what I do, because I got to the point where I was like doing this number right here, and I kept telling the staff, I'm like, "Can you make that a little larger, please, honey?" But what it is you put these contacts in your eyes and you wear them at nighttime. And so what happens to our eyes when you're wearing them at night?
So when you put these...
The tissue is molded to a different type of shape, which makes it hard for us to see.
Yeah, and the tissue is flexible, so you can actually mold it. So, but the beautiful thing about this is you're not destroying corneal tissue. You just remove them in the morning, and now you can see with your naked eyes. But not only you can see with your naked eyes, but these young individuals can actually say, "My eyes are not getting worse." Just imagine,
stops the progression.
Right. Just imagine, I think for some reason we have it very clear. You have a crooked tooth. You're going to take it to the dentist. They're going to put some braces on you for $5,000. By the way, this is not even half the cost of that. And because everybody thinks that that's awful. But yet we settle for worse eyes, more myopic eyes.
I think a lot of times we don't realize that our eyesight is where it is. Because we don't have like the baseline to compare it to until you kind of ask somebody else, "Can you see that?" It's like, "Yeah, you can't see that," right? And so, but you're right. And so I wore glasses. My eyes continually got worse since 3rd grade until I started with the contacts. And then for other kids, if you're playing sports and things, it just gets in the way. It kind of gets in the way of your life, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am, it does. That's one of the things I really noticed was back in high school, I used to play a lot of basketball, and wearing glasses and playing basketball doesn't really go that well together, because if you get whacked at the back of the head, they could come falling off. Next
and even
thing you know,
with contacts, you can get bumped and you have to take one out.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And with contacts, you sometimes roll, could roll back into my head or anything like that. And it really does make a huge difference. I mean, even today, I don't play as much basketball, but it still makes a heck of a difference in my life. I'm a gym rat, and it's not having to worry about, could they fall off, or they're getting in the way, or having to constantly clean up.
Dry.
It's really amazing is what it is.
And what's amazing is how quickly it happens. So, okay, so you have this, about 20/50 vision, meaning you really could not see that chalkboard if it was fuzzy.
Yeah.
And then you put these contacts in at nighttime when you went to sleep, and when you woke up, what happened?
Crystal clear. It was pretty neat. I woke up, I was like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." And I mean, I've told some people about it, and they're like, "Hard contact, well, doesn't that kind of hurt?" I'm like, to be honest, I've woken up some mornings and I've forgotten they're in there almost.
Yeah.
You don't really feel them that much. So it's been quite an experience. It's really been amazing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like a magic trick, because I woke up and I always joke that I could see to Pearland from Memorial, right? So.
Yeah, and I think for the audience, it's important to remember this looks like a contact lens, but it's much more sophisticated than a contact lens. A contact lens doesn't do what this does, and it's certainly much more. You see, we use a computerized process to get a 3D match of your cornea in a mold that looks like a contact lens. But the bottom line here is that you can see with your naked eyes without wearing glasses or having surgery. And you can protect your vision from getting worse. Yeah. Glasses and contacts or surgery don't do that.
Right.
Corneal molding is the only answer.
And if you're
the
kids,
gold standard
you can't get
for
LASIK surgery.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, you're absolutely right. It just stops it right there. You wake up and it is crystal clear, as you said. Our Dr. Arroyo has a special offer for viewers. Get a free consultation and $300 off corneal molding when you mention Great Day Houston. Again, they make that corneal molding, that contact, to actually fit your eye and correct your eye. To schedule your appointment at their office or for more information, call 281-419-3355, 281-419-3355. You can also visit sleepandsee.com, sleepandsee.com. And Dr. Arroyo, I have to say, I don't care what kind of contact you make for me, I'm never going to understand calculus. All right. All right, type 2 diabetes is the #1 reason for several